As the giant of the solar system, Jupiter reigns as the king among the planets, standing as the largest of them all. 2,800 years ago, the Babbler recognized this celestial body, which moved uniquely among other stars in the sky, associating it with the god Marduk. The Chinese referred to it as the Sui star, while Hindus named it Brihaspati, the religious teacher of the gods. Central Asian Turks called it Arandas. The ancient Greeks linked it to Zeus, and the Romans named it Jupiter, the equivalent of Zeus in Roman mythology. When the sun first began to form, solar winds pushed away the surrounding light gases hydrogen and helium, sending them to distant and cold regions. In these regions, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, which we now refer to as gas giants, were formed. The first planet to form in the solar system is Jupiter. It is also the largest planet, so large that you can observe many details even with an amateur telescope. Jupiter is also a very bright planet, the second brightest celestial object in the night sky after the Moon and Venus. The king of planets, Jupiter, is 5 times farther from the Sun than Earth. It takes a full 12 Earth years for Jupiter to complete one orbit around the Sun, equivalent to 1 Jupiter year. Despite its vast volume and mass, Jupiter surprisingly rotates very rapidly around its own axis. A full rotation on its axis only takes 10 hours. This swift rotation causes the planet to be flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. There is a difference of 9,276 kilometers between Jupiter's equatorial diameter and polar diameter. Its fast rotation leads to a continuous change in the colorful clouds along its equator. The axial tilt of Jupiter is 3.13 degrees, so it does not experience seasons like Earth. With a diameter of 140,000 kilometers, approximately 11 times that of Earth, Jupiter can accommodate 1,321 Earths within its vast expanse. Additionally, its gravitational force is about 2.5 times that of Earth. Until recently, scientists believed that Jupiter served as the guardian of our Earth and the inner rocky planets. They thought that due to its powerful gravitational field, Jupiter played a protective role against potential asteroid threats from outer space, safeguarding life on Earth. In other words, Jupiter was believed to act as a barrier, attracting asteroids and comets towards itself and preventing them from reaching the inner planets. However, recent research has left some scientists uncertain about whether Jupiter is a friend or foe. It is not entirely clear whether Jupiter keeps us safe by deflecting celestial bodies that might collide with Earth, or if it directs these objects into a region that could pose a threat to us. But due to its gravitational force, we are certain that it's the planet in the solar system that experiences the most collisions. In July 1994, a comet named Shoemaker-Levy 9 succumbed to Jupiter's gravitational pull, breaking into 21 pieces and sequentially colliding with Jupiter's surface. This collision marked the first observed impact in 400 years of telescopic observations. Almost the entire content of Jupiter consists of 2 types of gas molecules, with approximately 86.1% hydrogen and 13.8% helium. Jupiter's internal structure does not have sharp transitions between layers, unlike our Earth. Unlike Earth, it is believed to have a core that is a mixture of solid and liquid within distinct boundaries. The temperature at the center of the core is estimated to be 30,000 degrees Celsius, while at the very center, it is speculated to be around 50,000 degrees Celsius. Surrounding the core of Jupiter, there is an extremely dense layer of hydrogen, approximately 20,000 kilometers thick. The pressure in this region is about 30 million times that of Earth's atmospheric pressure. Under such temperature and pressure, hydrogen exhibits metallic properties, conducting heat and electricity. This state of hydrogen is referred to as metallic hydrogen, transforming into a substance that we do not encounter on Earth. The planet with rings has the thickest atmosphere in the solar system. When observed from Earth, the colorful cloud bands in the upper layers of Jupiter's atmosphere are visible. Information about its atmosphere was obtained in 1995 through a probe released into Jupiter's atmosphere by the Galileo spacecraft. In the upper layers of the atmosphere, winds can reach speeds of up to 600 kilometers per hour, while in the lower layers, wind speeds can reach up to 1,500 kilometers per hour. These winds can give rise to the largest lightning and storms in the solar system. The winds blowing in opposite directions in the cloud layer are the main cause of the colorful bands. Additionally, in the storm called the Great Red Spot, which has been ongoing for 400 years and has a depth of 500 kilometers and a width of 16,000 kilometers, these bands can be found. The layer of metallic hydrogen at the center of Jupiter, combined with the planet's tremendous rotational speed around its own axis, creates a powerful magnetic field. This magnetic field, shaped by the solar wind, can extend as far as Saturn's orbit. If you don't want your spacecraft to be rendered useless when approaching Jupiter, you must be very careful on your journey towards it. Another intriguing feature of Jupiter, the king of planets, is that it has rings. Although not as magnificent as Saturn's rings, Jupiter does have its own set. The particles composing Jupiter's rings are smaller than 1 centimeter. Jupiter and its moons form a miniature solar system of their own. The king of planets doesn't relinquish its primacy in the realm of moons either. Jupiter boasts the most populous moon system, with a current total of 92 moons discovered as of 2023. Many of these moons have come too close to the king of planets, succumbing to its gravitational influence, and are composed of asteroids and comets. Most of these moons have a diameter of less than 10 kilometers. The 4 major moons discovered by Galileo in 1610, however, deserve special attention. Ganymede, larger than the planet Mercury, is among them. If these moons orbited the Sun instead of Jupiter, we would consider them planets. In 1973, the first spacecraft sent to the King of Planets, Pioneer 10, passed near Jupiter. 12 months later, the Pioneer 11 spacecraft was sent, and it approached the clouds of Jupiter to within 34,000 kilometers, becoming the spacecraft that reached closest to the planet. As part of the Voyager 1 and 2 program launched in 1977, Voyager 1 began photographing the King of Planets in January 1979. On March 1979, it made its closest approach to Jupiter, coming within 349,000 kilometers. Following this event, 6 months later, Voyager 2 passed over the cloud tops of Jupiter at a distance of 576,000 kilometers in July 1979 and discovered Jupiter's ring system and several moons. In 1989, after a journey of 6 years, the Galileo spacecraft arrived at Jupiter on December 7, 1995. It was the first spacecraft to enter the orbit of an outer planet and collected information about the planet and its moons for over 7 years. Additionally, Galileo carried an atmospheric probe which was released in 1995, entering Jupiter's atmosphere and collecting data for 58 minutes at a temperature of 153 degrees.
And liftoff of Discovery and the Ulysses spacecraft bound for the polar regions of the Sun.
In 1992, the Ulysses spacecraft, sent to study the entire solar system at all latitudes, passed within 451,000 kilometers of Jupiter and made measurements of the planet's magnetosphere.
And liftoff of the Cassini spacecraft on a billion-mile trek to Saturn.
In 2000, the Cassini spacecraft, designed to study Saturn, visited Jupiter, capturing about 26,000 images and producing the clearest pictures of the planet. In 2006, the New Horizons spacecraft designed to study Pluto passed near Jupiter, capturing images of the planet and collecting various data. Finally, in 2011, after a 5-year journey, the spacecraft named Juno became the second spacecraft to enter Jupiter's orbit on July 2016. Thanks to advances in camera technology, Juno captured very clear images of Jupiter, investigated the planet's core, and indicated the possibility of a liquid core. Jupiter holds many secrets in our solar system. Perhaps there are even secrets about the evolution of life. Life may exist on the moons of Galileo. If we want to illuminate many things about our universe, we should explore the King of Planets more. Next, we'll meet on the rings of Saturn in the upcoming video.